Welcome to the exciting and new mini podcast. I'm Jason.
I'm Andy.
And I'm Brian.
And I'm Brady.
And I'm Logan.
Let's do it.
Wow.
There we go. The crowd's here. We got 5 people on the cast today. This is a good one.
Brian and I have never had both of our children on at the same time.
That's true.
Well, not both of our children. Some of our children together.
Which one's yours?
I don't know. They're very similar.
Why don't we have you guys can start us off with what you've been watching this week.
Oh, Brady, you want to start?
Okay, yeah, I'll start. I have a TV recommendation right off the bat.
Logan's so high.
That's great.
Everyone
It's legal in New Jersey.
has to watch The Bear. It's on Hulu. It's the best show.
God damn, dude, I got
about
2
doing
things
that.
and one of them's the bear.
You know, you started it?
It is
Okay, yeah.
the best show on TV right now, hands
I
down.
keep hearing that it's so good, but I have not watched a minute of it. Yeah.
I don't know why it's so good. I really don't. I was like, I didn't think I would care about a show about cooking at all.
Well, I think
But
it's him.
just-
I think it's the main guy. It's
it's just
Bear.
the whole cast and the
Well,
filmmaking.
the whole cast is good, but
on
he
FX,
is
right?
excellent.
What's
But
that,
also,
FX?
it's
I
just
was watching on Hulu. I don't know what's really on.
FX shows, or a lot of them are on.
yeah,
Hulu,
it's an FX show. Yeah, the filmmaking is just like insane. Like the cinematography, the sound editing, the video editing. It's like you feel like you're watching like art when you watch it. It's insane.
I hear nothing but good things about it. Yeah.
Yeah.
And the cast is great. And Logan, you watched it too, right?
Well, yeah, that was going to be my recommendation. So I guess I should have gone for a second.
Yeah.
But,
That's all right.
well, I didn't watch season 2 yet. I finished season 1 today and it was very good. But sometimes it's like almost like, to me at least, it feels like a bit of a much better sitcom where
It's a half hour long.
they're half hour long. Well, not every episode.
Yeah, but around that. Yeah.
But it almost feels like some episodes, the plot, like something happens in the beginning and then it's like resolved at the end, and then like the next episode, something happens in the beginning and it resolves at the end. I mean, it's one big story, but sometimes it kind of
More episodic.
It's very episodic. Yeah.
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah.
And I've only seen the first 2, and I really like
First 2
it.
episodes,
It is,
okay.
Yeah, but like both episodes that I saw, I was like, oh my God, I was tense thinking like,
Yeah.
is someone getting killed in this episode? And then by the end, it's like, yeah, we're all good. I'm like, okay, it's gonna be one of those kinds of shows. All right.
It's like very episodic with an underlining like story throughout.
Sure.
That culminates.
Yeah.
But like even in the second season, there's just whole episodes dedicated to like one character. It's
Now,
like,
is the second season done already?
yeah, they
Okay.
dropped it all at once.
Oh, they dropped it all
so
at once.
out there,
Okay. No, but it's good. But if you don't know what it is, he's a cook or chef. Sorry, he's a chef in Chicago, and I mean Chicago. It's one of those things like it's Chicago. The first 5 seconds in, you're like, okay, we're in Chicago. It's gonna be one of those kinds of shows, and it feels very Chicago-y, and it's good.
It's present time, right?
Yeah. Great cast too. An ensemble kind of cast.
it's not. I mean, no one else is really big in it besides the main guy who's in like Jeremy Allen White, who's in Shameless.
Yeah, he was
which is
Lip
probably
in
his biggest
Shameless,
thing.
which he was great
I never
in.
watched that.
But
Yeah.
other than like the main ensemble, I don't think anyone.
No, but there is a ton
Well,
of
yeah,
cameos.
there is.
I was gonna say
There is a
every
bunch of-
episode I
yeah.
watched so far has a big.
I heard
like,
about
wow.
the big cameo for season 2.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I heard about
Well,
that.
there's a lot.
yeah. There's.
But I heard that really big name. I
mhm.
mean, yeah.
It seems
He's
like they
a
get
big-
one person for every episode where you're like, oh,
Did you see who it was? In
No, I don't.
you
I
can-
have no
you
idea.
can honestly.
You know, his sister is
She's on
Abby
SN
Elliott,
yeah,
Chris
right.
Elliott's daughter.
And she's also, I think, on like SNL.
Yeah, she was on SNL,
that's
but
Chris Elliott's kid.
she's Chris Elliott's daughter. That's the biggest thing about what's that?
So then that's Chris Elliott's kid.
Did
I'm just
I not
kidding.
say it? Oh. I was like, yeah, but she's his sister, and that I think she's the only known cast.
Abby
member.
Elliott was on SNL for a little while,
A little
right?
bit.
Yeah, I
I
like
feel
her.
we were already saying that. You not listening?
Did you hear him? I didn't hear him. Sorry.
Oh, sorry. Yeah.
I actually watched 4 episodes of The Bear.
Did you? Wow.
And you
I
stopped?
enjoyed it, but I just,
Too many Korean shows to watch.
it's not Korean quality. So
I think we should just cancel this
Yeah,
whole
that's crazy.
podcast.
I don't
right
know.
now,
I've heard
man.
my entire
It's
life.
not Korean.
I watched it before.
So it's
before
not.
I
It's not
started
a
watching.
shitty knockoff of something that was done
Korean
We're
better.
gonna put a help wanted ad out for a producer.
You know what? We should get a producer that's actually Korean that only watches American shows. Lo, you got anything else? I mean, you talked about the bear. I don't know if you
No, I
want to count
don't.
that.
I really don't.
I had the bear too as my one of only 2 things. The other thing Michelle and I started was Hijack on Apple TV with Idris Elba and a bunch of other people, and every other person, I'm like, they might be from something else, but who can tell? And it's a real time ish hijack. So he's on a plane from Dubai to London, which is 6 hours, and the show's 6 episodes. We're 2 in, and it's tense. It is very tense, and you're invested in a lot of people's lives early on.
Yeah.
Well, there's like 250 people on the plane, so you don't want them to crash into anything, but very early on they realize that they're hijacked. And
Wait, what's this on?
Apple,
Okay.
and it's really good. Really, I highly recommend it after 2 of the 6 episodes.
Yeah.
And Idris Elba is awesome and smoking hot.
Someone, I got my credit card canceled because someone used my credit card to buy Apple TV.
Oh, that was me.
What, just a month subscription to
A
it?
month
Like,
subscription, $4.99, and Christine's just like, that's, you know, I got a text and I was just like, I said, did you see an Apple TV? And she's like, yeah, we got Apple TV. And I was like, I pay for it by the year, so there shouldn't be a monthly charge. So then I had to type, no, this is not an approved charge. And they're like, okay, your card's blocked. So now I don't have
Oh, if you said
My
no,
bank
then they
card.
should have blocked just that transaction. They
I
should have
know.
got to get.
But then
a new
when I
card.
called the
Pain in
guy,
ass.
you know, they were just like, well, someone knows your credit card number.
You have like 18 people in your house. Everybody knows your credit card number.
That's true.
Connor's like rattling. I'm buying lunch. Brian's paying. Who wants it? I'm like, let's go.
I watched the Wham documentary on Netflix last night. I watched that, and it's basically just that. It talks about Wham, how they were friends as kids growing up.
And
then they
does it
just-
go past?
It
Wham?
it talks about how he becomes a solo artist and puts a couple things, sentences at the end, but it's all about Wham.
Do you guys know Wham?
Wake
I know
me
it's a
up.
band.
That's
I'm
George
aware of
Michael.
Wham.
You know George Michael.
Okay.
Like,
You might know
know,
Last Christmas. You might know the Christmas
Wake Me Up
songs
Before You
very
Go
popular,
Go.
or Careless Whisper. The
I mean, he had a
saxophone,
long
but that's,
solo
that's
career.
Wham. But then there was the George Michael solo.
Right.
career.
Yeah, that was bigger, I think.
Wasn't he arrested in a public restroom?
Yes, he was.
Yes.
Yes, he was.
And I think he died the day before, the day after Carrie Fisher. Like they died
close.
very
It was around
close,
Christmas time, right? Yeah.
after Christmas.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Shockingly, I mean, he's like
He was only
my age
Yeah,
or
he was only in his
something like
50s.
that,
Yeah, but he was one of those closeted gay, because he mentioned how he was gay when they were still like 18. He talked to Andrew Ridgely when they were when they were in
and he
Wham.
wasn't gay, right?
Andrew Ridgely
No.
wasn't, but Andrew said he had no. He's like, I had no
Well,
problem with it, but I mean,
no
at
problem,
that time, it was like hard for him as a person, because all the interviews they show him, like in the interviews, talking about how there are ladies, man, like, oh, the ladies love you, but you're single, like and George Michael's like, yeah, we gotta be able to play
I always
field
assumed
kind of
those
thing like
those
that,
two
you
were
know?
a couple. Like back in the day, I was like, oh, I guess they're boyfriends. And
It could. I mean, I didn't get any of that from the documentary,
Whatever.
but because Andrew Ridgely seemed like he was totally not into that whole lifestyle or whatever. But
What video is it? When
Oh,
it starts off with
Faith,
the
dude.
jeans.
All
Oh,
the girls
yeah.
in the Faith video. Oh my
it wasn't.
god!
Was that Cindy Crawford was in
Cindy
there? right?
Crawford and Christy Turlington, and yeah, he has one of the sexiest videos. of
That
all
video is
time.
really hot. Yeah, I like that video.
Especially the beginning.
It's 30. It's a
Google the Faith video when you leave here tonight.
it's a
He
90 minute.
didn't even take a second to think. He said, "What's that music?"
As soon as he said the
thing?"
video, yeah,
He didn't finish the question.
Yeah.
It's a 90-minute documentary, one episode, perfect.
I will definitely watch that because I was a Wham fan. I was a George Michael fan too.
Wham fame.
Wham. Is Andy originally do anything after Wham? Did he
Yeah,
ever
I
do
think he did a
anything?
lot of producing and
Did-
stuff like that.
but he
yeah.
wasn't an actual singer.
I don't know if he has any solo albums or anything like that. He may, but I'm not sure, because they didn't really touch on the solo stuff really that
No.
much. A little bit of
It's just Wham.
George Michael's, but it's mostly Wham. Yeah.
Wham bam. Thank you, Brian. What do you got?
So I watched a show that Christine watched first. It's called Romance is a Bonus Book.
How do you say it in Korean?
I don't know. I can't even tell you the characters' names. But
How is that funny for you?
It's 17 episodes. They're 120 minutes each. It's like
These
what?
shows are
they
They
are
are.
He's watching 70
they're way over.
He's
an
watching
hour.
movies every night
I
and
know.
long movies.
16 episodes, 70 plus minutes an episode.
God,
And I wasn't going
Christ.
to watch. I remember I said,
You said you were going to watch. You were finishing up another show.
yeah,
And then you were
'cause
going to start watching
that was my
Silo and a
20th
couple other
show.
shows that we had watched.
and I was like,
you know?
I
Of the
gotta.
year?
20, yeah. Well, since I started watching Korean shows,
How long has that been?
Too long.
a couple months.
has it only been
I
like in
watched like one
2023?
series
I
a
feel-
week.
Have you ever seen like a scene from any of these shows?
No.
So what do you know like how
Your voice
there's
got really high there.
when
I'm insulted that you would ask that.
when you I just even like a scene, you watch it, there's like I didn't even realize this until I like sat down and saw a couple scenes, but it's so bizarre because there's like sound effects.
Oh, God,
like
Brady.
it's like a cartoon.
Oh,
and it's
really?
like, it's literally like you're
You hear
watching
like boing, boing, boing,
comics.
boing,
It's like
boing,
boing,
Like
ding.
you'll say something and then the other person will blink and it'll go bang, 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 bang.
Oh, like
It's-
that. Okay.
It's so weird, and it's like trying to be super.
I blame Squid Game for all this because I watched Squid Game when everybody else
Yeah, but
in
that
the
was
world
good.
watched that. Everybody was like, "Oh my god, Squid Game!" and it's great. And now it's like we have to be invested in all these.
No, it's because
South
him.
Korean.
Now-
He has a
No, I know.
fetish.
Now we're in the Squid Game because we're the ones getting tortured.
Yeah.
Do you want to hear what it's about?
Not
Yes,
even a
I
little
do.
bit. No,
So
not
it's
even.
about a publishing
Just say
house,
no
small
there.
publishing house, and it's about a girl. She's older. She's
Brady, you're up now.
37, and she's getting divorced, and her best friend for the past 20 years is this single guy, and it's about them kind of.
How come we
never got
together?
Yeah.
We should be together. Oh my god.
This sounds dreadful if it was like Jennifer Lawrence and Bradley Cooper. I couldn't even imagine watching this if it was Korean people.
I don't know why I
But
like
that
them so
sounds-
much.
That sounds. I mean, Christine was.
he turned up the
saying
bear
other
to
day
watch
that
this.
You guys were watching one where it was 15 episodes of just two awkward teenagers trying to get together.
That's the theme in most
and
of
their
these shows too. Korean
and their
teenagers.
14th
This-
episode was then their first kiss was, or when they first held hands or something.
It sounds like that might be. They weren't teenagers.
I remember
though,
you
but
talking about
It
that
did
one.
take
Yeah.
till like the 14th or 15th episode before they got together because
Oh
they were
my-
so awkward.
these shows are like
Insane.
a virus because it's like he infected my mother,
Don't tell
and
me.
then Carrie will be sitting there, and she would be like sitting in there while they're watching it, and then all of a sudden I see she's like, who's always watching shows on her phone, not paying attention or skipping through. She's like into it, like watching.
Well, you got to
the
read it.
show.
You got to read the subtitles.
Yeah, and I'm like,
Yeah, right.
I'm
You
like,
can't just
what is with
casually watch these shows.
You cannot look away.
So I'm actually terrified of even watching it because it seems to just infect
I think-
everybody.
You think it just pulls them in? Like
Right.
it's like
It's
it's
like
like
it's like
trance.
I feel they're being
like,
brainwashed. I
Yeah,
think this
it's
is like
like
when the three of us were growing up in the 80s, Japan was like the fear that they were taking over. They were buying all the golf courses and everything like that. And Japan was really popular and
The electronics are so more.
and we all
like-
thought Japan was going to take over. I feel this is now South Korea's taken over. They're infecting our minds. They're trying to make us learn their language, subconsciously because you're watching the shows. But
and they're going. They're going after the
Brian's-
super smart people.
Brian
like the
has
super
watched
smart inner
1,000
monologue,
hours of
you
South
know?
Korean TV and he knows none of the language.
Yes
so
and no.
They're failing.
Yes and no. I still have trouble with their names. Like, I mean, their
Well,
last
yeah, their
names,
names are probably very
Kang,
difficult. Yeah.
Lee,
Kim.
Kim. Like, I can get their last names, no problem, but it's their first names. Like, oh, Danny, that was Dan Dan I mean dash I. So that was a girl's name in this
Dan
one.
Dash I.
Danny. But that's not what I hear when they say her name.
Right.
It's
Don't say it.
Kang Dan, yeah, going.
Go ahead. I mean, if you want to leave that in, that's up to him. I mean,
He used to
I
give
think
me-
I actually nailed it.
You might have. We
You
don't
were
know.
trying to-
that
You were
No.
just trying to be accurate.
He used to give me
Exactly.
such a hard time about watching anime and the Japanese voices. And he would give me such a hard time, and he'd be like, I could never watch something with subtitles.
It's
I
so
could never
funny
watch something
that
with subtitles."
anime
And now
I'm
look at
okay
him.
with. Like seems
it's
culturally
supposed to be like that.
that's
though, yeah.
culturally important that we watch anime and watch it with the subtitles, not dubbed.
I
But-
disagree.
Oh, yeah.
I only
I don't think you
watch
should watch any of this
anime
stuff dubbed.
when
Yeah, he
it's
watches
dubbed.
anime dubbed, but he won't watch, which I get because live action dubbed is horrible.
Yeah, because the
but
mouths
so
are
is
working
anime
with the.
dubbed. Like I don't
Yeah.
understand the dub with anything. But
Yeah, I'm anti-dub in all its forms.
I don't like dubbing.
Romance is a bonus book. That's my 21st.
21st Korean
Korean
show. You
show.
even know how many you've watched.
I put them in a list on IMDb, so I know which ones I watched.
because he would rewatch the same one
Wait.
and not realize he just watched the show that he's already
Because he
seen
has
before.
no idea what's going on.
No, wait. I use IMDb a lot. They have a pro. Do you use IMDb Pro?
No,
All right,
what's
'cause I-
Pro?
I thought he
didn't know
paid
that.
for it because there's a pay version of IMDb.
I'm on IMDb every single day.
I love that site. It's so good. I mean, it answers every question I've had about a TV show,
Yeah.
pretty much. You know.
It's nuts.
Do you guys have?
What's the
what else
Pro
you have?
give you? What's IMDb Pro give you?
I think that allows you, like, if you were somebody that had a profile on IMDb, you can make your top 4. You can
Why don't you
okay.
put us in there?
He just
Or
pay
at least
for
put
it.
yourself
I'll
in
pay
there.
for it.
Oh, you don't pay for it. Oh, okay.
What's he doing?
Sorry.
What do you think that's
I'm from the south side of Chicago.
You're getting ahead of yourself.
Sorry about that. Go ahead.
I saw a movie. I guess I could talk about. I saw Asteroid City.
Oh, really?
There's a lot of
Yeah.
celebrities in that.
There
There's
is.
a lot of stars in that one. Yeah.
I'm kind of biased. Like my opinion on this would be skewed because I just
You're a
love
Wes Anderson fan?
movies. Yeah, I love Wes Anderson movies.
I-
So like,
I-
I enjoyed it a lot. But like, but it was like, if you don't like Wes Anderson, you wouldn't.
Yeah,
like the
man.
movie.
I don't know if I like Wes Anderson.
See, I don't like.
I think it's hit or miss.
I love every single.
I think it's
movie.
hit or miss, too.
I love every single movie I've seen from except for Bottle Rocket. I don't like Bottle Rocket.
But I don't even know if I liked Rushmore or the Royal Tenenbaums. I don't even know if I
What
like
about
them.
the Life Aquatic?
I've seen them, and I'm like, after I watched them, I'm like, did I really enjoy myself when I watched that
You
movie?
question
I'm like,
whether you even would want to watch it
yeah,
again.
I've never watched any of his movies a second time. Like, I know I like Quentin Tarantino. I've watched every single movie except Jackie Brown 50 times.
I like Jackie Brown.
Every single one of his movies I've watched 50
I
times.
recommend
but
giving
like,
that one another
Except
try.
Once Upon a
I'll
Time
give it
in
another.
Hollywood.
I'll give it another chance. But like Wes Anderson, man, I just don't know if I
Yeah.
like him or not.
well, yeah, it's very like if you don't like it, you would never. You
But
would
I mean, certain scenes are like,
sure.
Yeah,
I
he's
want to
certain-
watch
yeah.
the. I want to watch the movie for those
He's
scenes.
got a beautiful camera, like angles, shots, and everything. It looks great, but
The Royal Tenenbaums is my favorite.
And I remember when I watched it, I'm like, this is supposed to be awesome, and I'm not feeling awesome right now.
Yeah, I mean, if you don't, it's
Yeah,
kinda like
I
that.
started with Fantastic Mr. Fox, and that was really good. And
That's
then
George Clooney,
George
yeah.
Clooney and Julia Roberts.
I don't even remember. Who else
Nah, I
is in
forget
that.
who the other. Yeah,
Oh well, I know Willem Dafoe's in, but he's in everything.
but and then I went to Isle of the Dogs, which is the dog one, which is another claymation. Or,
Oh, really? Oh, I didn't know he
that's,
did
that's Bryan
more
Cranston.
than one.
That's Bryan Cranston. And then I went to Life Aquatic. But, I mean, I liked all the movies I've seen so far.
yeah.
It's probably me, but he's not for me.
You said something about Tarantino. I've seen almost every Tarantino movie, and I have a new favorite. The most recent one I watched, because I've rewatched it now, and I've decided Reservoir Dogs is my favorite,
Which is his
Tarantino
first.
movie. Yeah, and I think
I've
that is
seen
my
almost
favorite.
every one of his in the theater, but it's still Pulp Fiction is number one. Still.
I've never seen Jackie Brown or The Hateful Eight, but I've seen every other.
And I would recommend if you watch Hateful Eight, watch the Netflix 4-episode version because
It's longer.
it's longer,
Yeah,
but
but-
I feel it gives you more of a story.
Okay.
Like there's a lot of
It's
Hateful
like
Eight where you
watch it like 4 episodes.
yeah,
all
it's
in it, you know.
like 4
1
45
hour.
minute
I think they're
episodes and one
almost an hour,
3-hour
right?
episode.
I
don't know. but
loved Reservoir Dogs. That was like I was like, oh, this is my this is definitely my favorite.
I saw that second. I saw Pulp Fiction in the theater and was like, what else has this guy done? I saw Reservoir Dogs and I was like, what is this guy's problem?
He's only doing one more movie.
When you watched Reservoir Dogs the last time, I forgot how good it was.
yeah, I love that movie.
Man, that's a messed up movie.
Yeah, well, yeah, for sure.
But I mean, I'm just going back to Wes Anderson. Like, I mean, there are people that bow down at the Wes Anderson throne or altar, whatever.
Walter, I think would work better there. Yeah.
My favorite
I
Wes
think-
Anderson thing is Saturday Night Live skit, where the what was it, the coterie of Midnight Marauders or whatever.
Something
And
like
it was
that,
a
yeah.
it was a skit based off of a Wes Anderson movie. You know,
So
a
Wes
fictional
Anderson didn't direct it. It was like as if Wes
It was
Anderson
SNL
had
spoofing.
directed
It was an SNL, but who was the star of that one? Who was he? He was
Well, Edward Norton was in
Edward
it, wasn't
Norton.
Oh, so he was a
And
Wes
but he
Anderson
played
guy.
he played Owen
Wilson.
Wilson. And,
David Spade does a good Owen Wilson
okay.
with the fake news.
I think a
you
lot
know.
of people have.
The
He
trailer,
seems to be like a guy you can do.
the fake trailer, pretty much had every actor that would be in every Western. That's in every
Owen
Western.
Wilson.
It was like
Bill
Gwyneth
Murray.
Paltrow.
This is
Tilda
my
Swinton.
Owen Wilson here. You know.
That was good.
Wow. Wow.
Jason's a voice
Wow.
guy, man. He
What does he
surprises
say
me
in
with the
Cars?
voices.
Mel
he does.
Blanc.
Ciao.
Mel Blanc. Mel Blanc.
That's more hard.
In
That's
France,
just
it's
like-
Mel Blanc.
I don't know if you could do Kachow in a. You have to be very good
Ka-chow.
at impression.
Oh, and his cars.
Because he's more like.
But I thought, no, does he get do Ka-chow or?
Well, Chick
Well,
Hicks.
Michael Keaton does.
Michael
Michael
Keaton does
Keaton.
Kachiga.
That's
Oh,
Chick
right.
Hicks.
Yeah, right.
Chick Hicks, yeah. No,
That was the first Pixar movie. I was just kind of like,
oh, come on.
Meh.
man.
this is not awesome. Because up till that time, and now Pixar is like, whatever. But
See, I would say up to like Brave. I think every Pixar movie was.
yeah, I'm not shitting on Cars. I'm just saying, like, that was the first one where I was like,
Cars 1.
this is
I know.
not
I know, I like
awesome.
that.
Every other Pixar movie had been awesome up to that point, and we are so far off track. Oh, this is what this is for.
This is the mini. This is why we get this shit out,
Because no one had a lot to recommend.
This is where I can talk about. I watched Is It Cake 2, season 2.
Oh,
That's right.
How is that?
It was I love that show. It's the most ridiculous show.
It's Mikey Day, right?
Mikey Day hosts it from Saturday Night Live, and these people make some cakes that look exactly like
It's nuts.
objects, man. It's
And you're supposed to guess if it's actually a cake or if it's the object they're supposed to be.
Yeah, and they have,
seen that on
they have
TikTok.
celebrity judges coming in, and they get like 20 seconds to pick, and they have 3 decoys versus their cake and their cake up there. So they're all looking at it, they're like, no, number 2, and then now it's number 4. They're like, and
It's
but they look
crazy.
at it from a distance, so they're not right on top of it. So you
like
can't
there's a
see.
line, so you like.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
remember.
Kind of
I think I
like,
watched
yeah.
the first episode or 2, and I remember just being like, I don't know.
It's one of those shows you get wrapped up in, and you're like, oh, I just watched 6 episodes without paying attention.
I've seen those on TikTok, and I don't think I've ever gotten a single one right.
No, it's nuts.
Not a single one.
And I've seen how they're made. It's like they just
They use like fondant.
Well, like they would get like
molding
a
chocolate
bottle of
and
water.
stuff like
They would
that.
just get the bottle. They would dip it in like the mold, and then they fill the mold with the
Yep,
chocolate,
yeah,
and then like
they
wrap.
then they
the
break that
everything.
off, and that's in the
It's
mid, it's
nuts.
inside of
and
it. Yeah.
it's like absurd how confident I am in my answers when I'm by myself. I'm like, oh my god, I got it.
You're like, it's too obvious.
I'm like, this is like
That's obviously.
I'm like,
Why
this-
even asking me? Like, I know which
I
one
know.
it is.
I'm like, this is a bad one.
That's
They
obviously
really
a
botched
cake.
this, and I'm telling you, I haven't gotten a single one right.
That is
I'm
awesome.
gonna have to look for them online now that you say they're on TikTok and stuff like that. I'll see if they're on Instagram.
I gotta
I'll
watch
follow
the
them on
show.
there,
I
too,
mean,
yeah.
I'm gonna watch
Oh,
the
it's
show.
crazy.
now.
You got 2 seasons. It's fun.
nuts.
What is it, Netflix or?
Netflix, yeah.
It's fun.
I enjoyed it. Yeah. What's your
I
next
didn't see
Korean
season 2.
show?
Well, that was 16 episodes over.
Oh, so you just
70
did that?
minutes
That was all you watched this week? Nothing
Yeah.
else,
I
right?
can only watch one at a time. I mean, give me a break.
I'm surprised you don't have 2 monitors going at the same time, just going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth.
Well, Witcher,
Reading the subtitles, like trying to
Witcher's
figure
out, so next week I'll have Witcher.
Well, couldn't he do that? Like, his inner monologue is watching something, and then he's watching something.
My-
I don't think I
Yeah.
trust his inner monologue.
My inner
to watch.
monologue is berating me the entire time.
Is Witcher. That's not Henry Cavill, right? This
No,
season?
he's Henry Cavill one more season. Then,
Oh,
then it
so he
switches
got-
over to the Hemsworth kid.
He got kicked out of that as well.
I guess
or-
so. Yeah. I mean,
I think he was like putting it off because he thought he was going to get Superman, and then they said, "We're done with you." as
I thought it was
Superman."
like he is a big fan of the books, and they were like not doing what.
oh, really?
I
He
think
was
he's
anti
like-
the
he's like-
direction of the
yeah,
show.
I don't think he
Oh,
liked that it wasn't.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's
on
interesting, yeah.
Netflix, you know, you can pick your little picture for your profile.
Yeah.
And I always had him. And I went and I made a change in something. Then I went back to the Witcher thing to add him back in. He is gone from the Netflix profile.
Icons.
Yeah.
I have a
and I'm
shark.
like, what the hell?
That's my icon is a shark.
Oh, that one's good.
I had an upside down American flag for a long time. I don't know what I have right now.
I have Mr. Peanut Butter from BoJack Horseman.
Mine's BoJack Horseman.
Yeah.
my
That's a show I've
my
never
Disney
watched,
Plus
but I hear
icon's
good
Darth
things about
Vader
that show,
since day
BoJack
one.
Horseman, yeah.
Mine's been Gonzo. I'm up.
It is Gonzo. Yeah.
And I think Danny is Beaker.
He's Beaker.
I'm just it.
I got nothing else, but we can sit here and BS for the next 5 hours.
I didn't have anything else to add to the mini. Did you? If not, I'll just tell everybody to meet us over there on Spreaker. That's where you can download us, rate, review, subscribe, do all those fun things. Download our podcast. It's the exciting and new podcast everywhere, and that's on all our socials as well. It's the Jazoo on Instagram, Jazoo74 on Twitter. It's the exciting and new mini podcast, and I'm Jason.
AE Gonzo 1 on Twitter, AE Gonzo 1970 on Instagram, and I think on Threads also. I don't even know how that
I
stupid
didn't
thing
do that.
works.
You said something about
I,
that.
I
yeah.
went onto the Threads app and it just said copy your Instagram information. I'm like,
Run on music.
okay. And it copied my information over there, and all of a sudden a bunch of stuff showed up. I'm like, who gives a fuck?
I knew we were going to run on music.
I'm Andy.
Papa Bad Kitty.
He always says he can add this in later,
I know.
and then he never does.
I'm Brady.
Give your Twitter or
Oh, well,
Instagram.
I recently got a new phone and forgot my Instagram password, so
Excellent.
that account is just done for. So I have to make a new one. Follow me, whatever my new one is.
Wait, can you like?
You can't. You can.
I can't
retrieve
even
the
recover
password.
your
Your-
password because I don't know what email it's bad. I haven't logged out of my Instagram in
You make
5
multiple
years.
Instagram accounts. You don't.
I
have
got
just-
a. You're following me
Oh,
on your
yeah,
new
I just made
Instagram
a
the
new
other day. I
Instagram.
got a.
Oh, is there a new one? To
whatever.
follow? Did I follow it? I think I did.
All of a sudden, he's like, I got a. This person's following you. I'm like, why is Logan following me? He wasn't following me before, but it's a new one, and who knows?
Say yours. I'm sorry.
Oh, and I'm Logan. My Apple Play El Organzo for 2.8.
Oh, Apple Play. I don't even
Yeah,
know what the
Apple
hell that is.
Arcade.
That's awesome.
What's that?
Apple Arcade. It's
Yeah, what
like
is that?
you get games like you pay like a $5 subscription, you get like all these free games with no ads.
Like old school games, like
no, but like fun mobile games with no ads.
that's fun. Yeah,
Tiny
When he
tower.
says he paid $5 for it, he means his mother paid $5.
you just get the
Actually, I just keep on getting free trials because it's like I don't know.
Free trials is the way to go.